Hey folks, how you doing? Dave McRae here. Check out the new specs. That's right. I had an eye appointment the other day and I got some new specs. My old glasses were, which I don't normally wear when I do videos. I did wear them on a few of the live videos that I did because I needed to see all the comments. But I don't normally wear my glasses unless I absolutely have to. But these are brand new and they are Armani frames, and my other frames were Oakley's, I believe, and they were a little more rectangular. These are a little more sort of rounder, just a slight kind of, it's kind of like they're rectangles, but they come down a bit. They're bigger frames, essentially, right? And but my girlfriend said, hey, you know, they're in style. The lady at the eye place was like, yeah, they're in style, and I kind of like them. I like the bold kind of look. It's kind of got that sort of J.J. Abrams / Spielberg / Scorsese / like I know what the fuck I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? It's got a Buddy Holly. You know what I mean? You guys remember Buddy Holly? Every day, it's a getting closer, going faster than a roller coaster. Love like yours will surely come my way. Hey, hey, hey. That's why I don't sing. Anyway, so today I thought we'd have some fun. I thought I'd wear my specs today, although there is a bit of a glare when I look up at my screen, but hopefully that's not going to be an issue. I thought we'd have some fun today. I probably won't wear them all the time, but, you know, I kind of like them, right? And show you some of the CDs. I have my CD case over here. Now, I wasn't a huge collector of CDs, and I'm not somebody that listens to one specific type of music, or there's one sort of type of music or band or group or singer that I was totally into, that I followed, and that's sort of where my kind of heart was. I have to admit, if it's got a good beat, I don't care if it's rap, I don't care if it's hip-hop, I don't care if it's top 40, I don't care if it's Adele, I don't care if it's Backstreet Boys, I don't care if it's AC/DC, I don't care if it's, like, I really don't care. If it's got, you know, a good beat is a good beat, right? And if it's something that's like, this is fucking good, like, this is really good, you know, then I'll listen to it. Won't necessarily buy it, but I certainly won't be ashamed to pop it on the, you know, the radio or to turn it up or whatever, because it's got a good beat. So I'm kind of all over the place. I am an AC/DC fan. I'd say that that's probably the only group that I listen to that I can certainly say that I followed, that I know a lot about, that I know a lot about their albums, their history, you know, the ups and downs of the group. And that's primarily because I have two older brothers who were really into them. So I kind of sort of had to listen to them, and I was like, yeah, I kind of like this. But as formulaic as AC/DC is, you got to admit, they got a lot of really great riffs, a lot of really, you know, great beats, and when you hear an AC/DC song, you're like, that's fucking AC/DC, and they don't change, and they make no apologies for it. And it's kind of like, yeah, that's kind of what I like. Anyway, so I thought I would show you some of my CD collection here, which some of them, most of them are movie soundtracks, because I'm a movie soundtrack kind of guy. But I thought I would show you, very much kind of like what I did with the VHS video that I uploaded. I thought I would show you some of the CDs that I collected over the years. And I still remember my first CD that I got. And I'll look for it here. I should have brought it out. I should have done this before I started the video. But anyways, it's too late now. And it's kind of funny. So it's going to be all over the place here. Most of it is movie soundtracks, maybe some dance CDs. But I think you guys will find this kind of fun and kind of funny. So, okay, we'll start. You know what? We'll start from the top. Okay, this is kind of embarrassing, but I was really into her when I was in high school because I thought she was hot. So, Jennifer Love Hewitt. Jennifer Love Hewitt! It's not because she's an amazing singer or anything. It's because I thought she was pretty and I thought she was hot and I was really into her when I was in high school. So, yeah, I have two of her CDs, actually. I think she only released like 2 or 3. But there's that one, and then there's another one here which will come down the pipe. But anyway, that's a little embarrassing, but that's Jennifer Love Hewitt. Hey, the Titanic soundtrack. Bought that back in '97. And again, I liked the movie, but I liked the music. Again, hey, I'm a movie guy, right? And I don't know if you guys did this, but when I was in high school, I used to buy a lot of movie soundtracks, and I would listen to them at night before I went to sleep. And I would almost like picture in my mind, you know, I wouldn't picture the movie. I would picture my own life, my own day-to-day, the shit that I was going through, you know, in high school, you know, with my friends and the girl that I liked, or whatever the case was. The events and the sequence of events that was going on in my life, that was sort of the soundtrack to those events. And that's why I bought them, and that's what it sort of became. So when I hear this, I don't tend to think of, I mean, now I do. I tend to think of the movie now because I've been so far removed from high school. But at the time, if I was to listen to anything on here or any of the movie soundtracks that I'm about to show you, I sort of remembered I sort of correlated it with my my day-to-day life at that time. Comment below and let me know if you guys were like that. It's really kind of weird, kind of strange, but kind of cool at the same time. I'm a movie guy. What can I say? Hey, oh, that's not going in. Okay, what do we got here? Next one is, the Vanga Boys. You guys remember this? The Vanga Boys. Got some pretty catchy tunes on here, and back in the late 90s, early 2000s, they were fucking... If you went to a club or a bar in the late 90s and early 2000s, you could not hear the Vanga Boys. Benny Benassi. You guys remember this? I think this is the guy that was... Isn't this the guy? Yeah, Satisfaction. I bought this probably in the early 2000s. Fucking Christ. Hey, the soundtrack to Air Force One. Love that movie. Love that movie. I mean, it's very stereotypical and pretty predictable, but it makes no apologies for it, and I make no apologies for really liking it, or liking the soundtrack, which of course came a part of my life in high school. I'm trying to go through these as quickly as possible. Hey, The Green Mile! I love this movie. First of all, this is a fantastic movie, okay? Directed by Frank Darabont, the same guy that directed The Shawshank Redemption, The Majestic in 2001 with Jim Carrey, I believe, and 2007's The Mist. He's actually only done 4 major feature films in terms of directing, and I wish he would do more because I think he's a talented writer and a talented director. And of course, this is based on a book by Stephen King, starring Tom Hanks and the late Michael Clark Duncan, and 3-hour movie, but an awesome soundtrack. One of my favorite movie soundtracks of all time. I'm not kidding. It's just beautiful. The music's just awesome. Okay. Jaws! Yes! Jaws. Now remember, these CDs were all purchased like 20 years ago, okay? Jaws, most of them. At least 15, 16. Well, no, I guess I have a few here that were purchased not that long ago. But yeah, I know, I still purchase CDs. It's crazy, eh? Jaws. Can't go wrong with Jaws, folks. Jennifer Love Hewitt! I totally got this when I was in high school. Because again, I was infatuated with her. 6 Days, 7 Nights. Harrison Ford and Anne Heche. That movie came out in 1998. I like the soundtrack. And obviously, I bought the CD, which again probably became very much kind of like part of my life in high school at that time. It was my last year of high school in 98. Should have been in 97, but I failed grade 4. So anyway, hey, Star Wars, The Phantom Menace. The Phantom Menace. Shitty movies, but you cannot argue that John Williams' score throughout all of the Star Wars prequels were fan-fucking-tastic. I mean, Duel of the Fates, anybody? I mean, this shit was amazing. The music was fantastic. It's too bad the movie didn't live up to it. Live up to the music. Hey, okay. The Star Wars saga. Return of the Jedi, The Empire Strikes Back, and Star Wars. Got all sort of the top kind of known songs from those movies. Kind of cool stuff, eh? All right, what do we got here? A Nightmare on Elm Street. Is that all of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I guess it's sort of, well, it's six movies. Yeah, it is. It's the original 6 films. Not including New Nightmare. Michael Jackson #1s. All his #1 hits. You got Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. I'm gonna rock with you all night. Billie Jean's Not My Lover. Beat It. Thriller. I Just Can't Stop Loving You. Bad, Smooth Criminal. The Way You Make Me Feel. Man in the Mirror. Dirty Diana. Black and White. You Are Not Alone. Earth Song. You Rock My World. Break of Dawn. One More Chance. And Ben. Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. Shitty movie. Soundtrack was, but there was a couple of tracks on here that I really liked, and that's why I bought it. Attack of the Clones! Again, it's got dust all over it. Again, great soundtrack. Shitty movie. Hey, I have the soundtrack to the hit Broadway play Rent. Yeah. Remember that? Remember Rent? Have you guys seen Rent? Great soundtrack. A lot of fun. Pearl Harbor. Wasn't crazy on the movie, but I thought the soundtrack was really good. Raiders of the Lost Ark. Yes. This is an awesome soundtrack. I mean, first of all, it's an amazing film. What is there not to love about the movie, and what is there not to love about John Williams' score here in the soundtrack? Excuse me. Awesome shit. The Perfect Storm. Another movie where I'm like, you know, it was entertaining. I don't think I've seen it since I watched it in the theater back in the year 2000, but I love the soundtrack. And remember what I said at the beginning of the video, those movie soundtracks that I would buy would become part of my day-to-day life, the events that were going on in my life. This was like the soundtrack to all the craziness that was going on in high school and all that kind of shit. It's a lot of fun. Although this came out after I had graduated from high school, but that continued, like, you know, into my college years and all that kind of, it was just, yeah, good shit. Armageddon, 1998. That was a fun movie. That was a total American pop culture, you know, we're America! We're gonna fuck shit up! And we're gonna save the fucking world! That's, you know, but hey, it was a lot of fun. It was Michael Bay, one of Michael Bay's earlier films, and a lot of fun. Bruce Willis, the late Michael Clark Duncan. I believe Steve Buscemi's even in this. Is he in this? I think he's in this, isn't he? Yeah, a lot of fun. Saw that in the theater. Love Inc. I think this was a Canadian band, actually. I think. You guys might not remember this south of the border or overseas, but a lot of good dance tracks on it. 25 of the greatest rock hits of all time. Like I tell you, man, I love everything from the 50s to the 60s to the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, anything from hip hop, rap, if it has a good beat. I don't like all rap. I don't like all hip hop because a lot of it sounds very formulaic to me. But if it's got a good beat, yeah, I don't give a fuck what it is. I really don't care. I like Enya. I like fucking Enya. Sounded like Donald Trump there. I like Enya. She's great. She's amazing. She's terrific. Oh, that's a sound effects CD. That was back in the day when we had to rely on sound effects CDs to you know, use in short films and things like that. Now, of course, I have a digital library on my computer of over like 10,000 sound effects. It's, you know, not a big deal anymore. But back in the day, we used to buy sound effects CDs or sound effect tapes. Jewel. Hey, I like Jewel, man. This was her first CD, I believe, 1994 or 5. I don't know if you guys remember that one. A lot of good songs on there. A lot of good songs. Yeah. Whatever happened to Jewel, anyway? She kind of... That was the end of her, wasn't it? Oh, I had her next one, too. I think this came out in 98 or 99 or something like that. Jewel, yeah. I thought she was cute, but I actually liked her music. With Jennifer Love Hewitt, on the other hand, it was like... You know, I wasn't buying it because of the music. Let's be honest here, right? The summer is magic. That is not how it goes at all. Just a bunch of dance songs that were popular in 1995. Crazy shit. Here is the first CD. Here is the first CD that I didn't buy this. This was given to me at like, it was like a youth night or something back in 1990 or 91 or something or whatever it was. I was like 11 or 12 and I was hanging out with some friends and I won this. Do you guys remember these people? There was a couple of good songs on here. Dance Group. I don't know, man. I think they might have been foreign. I'm not sure. Foreign, I mean, I don't mean, you know, like maybe from Britain or overseas or somewhere. I don't know. More sound effects. Collisions. Crashes, collisions, and catastrophes. Star Wars A New Hope. Great fucking shit, man. Oh, it came apart. But anyway, the cover of the CD is the Death Star, which is kind of cool. It's in great shape. Like, this is like 20-something years old, okay? Look at the back of the CD. There's like no scratches on it. I was like my VHS tapes and my DVDs, they're all in immaculate condition. No scratches. Because I'm very, very, sorry, I'm trying to get this in here. Very anal about that shit. Planet of the Apes, 2001. I actually didn't mind the movie. I thought it was all right. I mean, I don't think it's as good as the 1968 original, but I thought it was a lot of fun. And I love the fact that it was all practical effects, right? I didn't hate it. I didn't think it was great, but I didn't hate it. It's got a really good soundtrack. Here's another movie soundtrack, Inventing the Abbots. It's got some good tracks on it. I know what you guys are thinking. What the fuck, man? You got like a smorgasbord of all sorts of shit here. I do. John Carpenter's The Fog. Yes. Love that fucking, love the movie, love the soundtrack. I think it's probably Carpenter's best soundtrack outside of Halloween. Yeah, for sure, hands down, in my opinion. Busta Rhymes. Trick or treat, motherfucker. This actually wasn't my CD. It was my buddy Bruce's, and I think he left it at my place. I obviously was borrowing it for some reason. Maybe there was like one track on here that I actually liked. I'm not sure, but I know I didn't buy this. It might have been my buddy's, but for some reason, I should give it back to him. It was 20-something years ago, but I should give it back to him. Get ready for this with DJ Ricky D. The fuck is that? You know how you'd buy those like CDs that were like knockoffs of popular songs? I think that was it. You guys remember Aqua? Barbie Girl?
I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Life in plastic. It's fantastic.
Now 3. There's one of those CDs you pick up with a bunch of compilations on it that were really popular back in the day. I mean, look at the songs that are on there. You know what I mean? One of those compilation CDs. I don't think they make them anymore. I'm not making too many CDs anymore. The Real McCoy! Remember the Real McCoy? Their big ones were Another Night and Runaway, I think were the ones that sort of put them on the map. You guys remember the Real McCoy? Prozac! I think this was a Canadian band. I think. I stand to be corrected. Maybe they were from the US. Anyways, do you guys remember this band, Prozac? They had some good catchy beats. Really good catchy beats. WWF! I have to admit, back in the like 96, 97, 98, I was watching the WWF back then, you know, when it was the Attitude Era with, you know, Stone Cold and The Rock, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I was a big Goldberg fan too with WCW back in the day. That's all their theme music. Michael Jackson's Dangerous. Some good shit right there. Saving Private Ryan. Great movie, great soundtrack. You guys remember Daft Punk? I love Daft Punk. Brooklyn Bounce. You guys remember this? Their big one, of course, being Brooklyn Bounce, which was, I think, their huge. I think that was probably one of their only big hits. Get Ready to Bounce, actually, I think was the name of the song. You guys remember this? You guys remember Brooklyn Bounce? Sci-Fi Themes, another compilation. I think I only bought this one because it had the Doctor Who theme and the 2001 Space Odyssey theme on here as well. The original Doctor Who theme. I think that's probably why I bought it, because I think that was one of the reasons why I bought it, or the only reason why I bought it. All right, I bought these not too long ago, actually. The Best of Dire Straits. I like Dire Straits. You guys remember Dire Straits? Really like them. Oh, this is an old one, actually. I don't know why that's in my car. This is AC/DC's Stiff Upper Lip album. I really liked it. It's from 2001. I liked the Stiff Upper Lip album. Wasn't bad. AC/DC's Back in Black. Classic. One of the biggest selling albums in music history, of course. Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Not a big fan of the movie. Not a big fan of the creative choices they made. But I didn't mind the soundtrack. Hey, it's John Williams, right? I can separate the two. For me, they're not mutually exclusive. They should be, because I want to be able to think of the amazing movie that the music encompasses. But I thankfully can, separate the two. Like the music, though. Of course, Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Have the soundtrack to that. Creedence Clearwater Revival, CCR's greatest hits. You guys like CCR? I love CCR. I'm a big CCR fan. So I bought a CD not too long ago, maybe about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, of a lot of their greatest hits. I bought AC/DC's latest album, Rock or Bust, because I was like, I'm going to buy it so I can listen to it in my car. Why not, right? It's kind of fun to have the CD cases. And that's it. Those literally are the only CDs I own. So what was that? Maybe like 50 CDs or something like that I went through. Hope you guys enjoyed going down memory lane with me a little bit, looking at some of those old CDs. Hopefully they brought back some memories for you where you're like, oh, I fucking had that CD. Oh, I totally remember that. Oh my God, I forgot about that. You had that? Yeah, I had it. Yeah, I admit. I had it. As you can clearly see, I didn't collect a lot of bands, right? I wasn't collecting a lot of bands. I was collecting a lot of movie soundtracks and a lot of, you know, compilation CDs because, well, I like that track, but I don't necessarily like that track. Well, I really like that song, but I'm not crazy on the band in and of themselves. Do you know what I mean? I'm all over the place. I go with how I feel and how it makes me feel, and I really don't care what genre that is, what band that is. I'm not ashamed to admit that, because at the end of the day, it's how music makes you feel, right? Or what's going on in your life at that time, or, you know, the emotional significance that it has for you during that, you know, particular moment or event or person, or, you know, whatever the case is. So I'm not ashamed to admit that I have a sort of a unorthodox kind of CD collection. Anyways, folks, my name's Dave McRae. Comment below and let me know your thoughts. Do you still have your CDs? What kind of CDs did you have? Did you have sort of a weird collection of CDs? You know, a smorgasbord of all different kinds of CDs, of bands, of songs? Is there a group that you're kind of like, I know it's not popular to admit, but I kind of was a fan of these guys or of these girls or, you know, of this group or that song or, you know, whatever the case is, right? Comment below and let me know. I would love to know. If you want to follow me on Facebook, you can at facebook.com/manythingsdavemccrae. McRae is MCRAE. Facebook.com/manythingsdavemccrae. You can follow me there in the meantime and in between time when I'm not posting here. So yeah, comment below and let me know. And I'm going to rock the AC/DC shirt today with my Buddy Holly glasses. Woo! All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers.